Hello, my name is Ronke Taiwo, and you are welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about our Christian faith as it relates to relationships, marriage, and parenting. And today, I want to talk to the singles, go singles, go singles. And the reason why I wanted to say it was that there was a particular time that somebody asked me a question, and the question was that, should I marry somebody who is my spec? Should I be on the lookout for somebody who is my spec? Is there something like, as a Christian, should I go for what I find attractive or beautiful? And I said, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually like the fact that you end up with somebody you think is attractive or beautiful to you. As a guy, you can say, I want somebody who is maybe fair-skinned. I want somebody tall. I want somebody with a particular shape. As a lady, you want somebody tall. I want somebody that does this, that is funny, and things like that. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that, because that shows that we are human. What shows that we are human is that over time, as we grow up, we start developing tendencies to prefer something to another thing. For example, we all grow up with some nuances in our minds. We all grow up watching some movies we like, a persona that is attractive to us. But don't just marry your spec. One important thing you need to do is to marry your kind. Yes, I said it. What do I mean by marrying your kind? That is going below the surface, going below the personality, going below the looks, going below beneath it, and going to things that have to do with life. Like, what are your shared values? Do you have the same values? Do you have the same belief system? Do you have the same ambitiousness? Do you have the same ideology of life? Do you think about things in the same way? Do you have the same goals? Do you have the same things you are looking up to? These things should be, and we shouldn't lie to ourselves, because what I see a lot of single people do is that you just feel, okay, maybe because there's no time, or I don't find anybody that will fulfill the deep desires of my heart, let me just go with whoever I see that is attractive to me. But like I said, the marriage will not last based on that. Why? Because people change. You grow older, beauty diminishes, beauty fades. The way somebody looks can change. A woman who is slim can become bigger after 3 kids. Different things can come. Different affairs of life can change the way you are, or the way the person is. The person may be rich today and is not rich tomorrow. What are the other things that we hold that marriage together? So we go to ask questions about, what do you really want? And you see, I always tell people that if you can deceive anybody in life, kudos to you, but don't ever deceive yourself, because that is the highest level of delusion. When you are deceiving yourself, you know what you want deep inside, but you think you can't get it, and because of that, you make do with whatever you see. No, that is a high level of delusion. Hello, beautiful people. If you like this content and you want more of such, please help us to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so that you get notifications of all our videos. Thank you as you subscribe. I remember that when I was in university, I was arguing with a friend, and we're just talking, and I told the person that I wanted to marry somebody who doesn't drink alcohol. And everybody, all the ladies there laughed and were like, where will you get a man that doesn't drink alcohol, lady? Where will you? And I'm like, there are a lot of guys that don't drink alcohol. And they were like, no, every guy does, and everybody was like, oh, even Christians, some of them. I said, I don't want somebody that drinks. And when I met my husband, that was one of the first things I noticed about him. Even if he gets a wine, like a fruit juice, this fruity wine, and he will check it. Like, my husband will check it to see, is it 1%? Is that, if it's 1%, he's not taking it again. And he's like, I don't take alcohol. And you know why? Because that my feeling was valid, and I was able to attract what I want. Number 2 thing, that you have to go beneath the surface. When we talk about your spirituality, when we talk about going below the surface of our body, we are talking about our spirit and our mind. So your spirituality, are you somebody who is religious? Are you somebody who believes in, I want to serve God in a set? And it's not just about, both of us are Christians. That's not what I'm talking about. But do we serve God the same way? Do we believe in serving? Because you can be a Christian, I can be a Christian. You can be a Christian that goes to church only on Easter Sunday, and I can be a Christian that goes to church every Sunday. You can be a Christian that says, I don't mind doing this or that. And another Christian will say, no, I can't do that. I can just do this because I'm a Christian. So you must understand that many of these things, what are your goals for life? What is your passion? What are the things you want to do? You know, if somebody is, for example, let me use another easy example. When you are so ambitious, you have somebody that is so ambitious, you have to have a partner who is either ambitious, number one, or supports the other party being ambitious, because person might not be as ambitious as you, fine, but the person must support it and believe it, that, oh, this person is so ambitious, but I must be able to support this person's dreams and what they want to do in life. So those are the important things to watch out for. You know, I will talk about my story again. You know, before I got married, I was so good. I loved God. I loved to serve God. I was always in church. I just loved somebody that had the same passion for God. I listened to messages. I read books. There were just a lot of things I knew, and I could never forget the first date I had with my husband, and it was just as if we were finishing each other's sentences. I would say something, he would finish it. It felt like we had been listening to the same person, even though we went to different churches. It felt like we had the same kind of mentors, because as I was talking, it would be like, oh, so you believe that too? That is what I believe too, and we would both laugh about it. It was one of the best days of my life, because for me, I actually found somebody that got me. I found somebody that got what was important to me, not just about the looks. Though my husband is very handsome, so I think I clocked it on both sides. I got my spec and I got my kind. But we must look beneath it and just not focus. And why do we always make this mistake? Most of the time we fall in love. And when we fall in love, we don't see anything. Every other person can see something wrong with that person except you. Because when you're in love, it's like you're wearing a different sort of glasses that doesn't see anything that is wrong. But you must understand that when we talk about marriage, there are many important things we have to go through. There are many important things we need to know before we make that decision, so that at the end of the day, that decision will carry us for so long. And even after many years, we will still be chasing the same things. You know, I and my husband, we still aligned on so many things. Why? Because so many years ago, I realized that this person is my kind. And today, we are still serving God together. We are still doing a lot for the kingdom of God. And it's something that excites me at every point in time. So, my ladies, my gentlemen, what is the message I have for you today? Don't just marry your spec, marry your kind. If you could choose between either picking your spec, who is not your kind, or picking your kind, who is not your spec, for the long run, it's better to pick your kind. I kid you not. So don't just marry your spec, marry your kind. See you. Bye.